This is Chris with Dive Zone Scuba for another technical diving tips, techniques, and trips video. Hello divers, thanks for joining me today. The subject of today's video is what happens when you don't dive your plan. In late April of 2025, I executed a technical dive on the Hydro Atlantic. This is a wreck off of Pompano Beach in Florida. Here is an image of the wreck from the wonderful WreckWiki website. This wreck has been down there since 1987 and is at an approximate depth of 166 feet. One of the fundamental concepts of diving is to plan the dive and to dive the plan. Here's the plan for the dive that we're going to talk about today. So the plan was for a 165-foot dive for 15 minutes using three gases, air, 32, and 100%. I had discussed this dive with the dive boat captain prior to booking the trip. It was agreed that this dive would be a hot drop with a drift deco. Hot drops in particular require special procedures by the boat captain. This is discussed in video 199. Unfortunately, at the last minute, the captain decided to have us use a descent line from another vessel that was already tied off. This was not part of the dive plan, and I should have immediately aborted the dive prior to getting in the water. As it turns out, there was significant current, and this required an enormous amount of scope. The first part of the descent took 15 minutes in order to drop to 110 feet. This is a result of having to pull myself down fist by fist against the heavy current. At the end of the 15 minutes, I could see the wreck and then proceeded to do a negative descent onto the deck. By that point, I had blown the dive plan. I briefly drifted along the deck and then began my ascent. At that point, I completed the dive by following the deco plan calculated by the Shearwater Perdix. The execution of this dive was so extreme that out of the 5 divers who started the dive, only one was able to complete it. Fortunately, the boat was able to recover the other 4 divers. Things could have easily turned out much worse. It did take 4 days for me to recover from that dive. So the moral of the story is plan the dive and dive the plan. This is Chris with Dive Zone Scuba. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.